mass mass ma mo ស្រឹក a so mass proton ស្មើ mass neutron ស្មើ មួយ divided by មួយប៉ុន 800 mass electron នេះ គឺ he ho ស្រឹក I he ពីរ នេះ សរុប electromagnetic force. I figured before they can help me improve it all, if that's what they want to do with the next 20, 30 years of their life, we got to get to the point where they understand it better than all of their peers, or at least get them to be in the top 5% of people who understand the periodic table as it relates to electromagnetic force. And there's a million other things I want to put on here, like the mass of a neutron and a mass of a proton is identical. Both are a particle. They are not particle waves or wave particles like electrons and photons. What's the difference between electron and photon if they're not just particles, they're particle waves? Well, both have been put through something called the double slit experiment to show that they both act like particles and waves. But what's the difference? An electron has a little bit of mass. A photon has no mass whatsoever. Behaves like it has mass when it's in motion according to Einstein's general theory of relativity, but both at rest and when moving, it doesn't have mass. And also, we get to three types of mass: invariant mass, gravitational mass, and variant or relative mass. But I figured we should just start with getting them to understand that there are four known forces of nature. These have a neutral charge. These have a positive charge. What does that mean? This symbol, although identical, an electromagnetic force, has nothing to do with the symbol in math, has nothing to do with the symbols here in terms of improving science by building on top this field of science that already exists: grand unification theorist, theory of everything, Stephen Hawking, Albert Einstein. Basically, people have been working on trying to create one general field of science that connects all the subfields of science, or all the different fields of science. And that's considered the toughest, most tricky, hardest to do, maybe not even possible task. And that's why the smartest people in the world have been so obsessed with it. So anyway, I figured like it could be a fun way for them to live their lives, understanding like, what is the most basic unit of biology? A cell. What is the most basic unit of physics and chemistry? A proton. What is the most basic unit of astrophysics? The maximum velocity of light. Well, what is the most basic unit of a theory of everything? Well, I don't know this for sure, but my best guess at this arbitrary moment in time is hive, and here's specifically why, and here's how it relates and doesn't relate to this, and here's where we're stuck at dark matter and dark energy, and if antimatter and matter collide, they produce energy. What is energy? Well, there's 6 different types of it. What does that mean? Well, I have opinions on that and perspectives that may or may not be true, and that gets back to this. Anyways, so I'm gonna put this up as step by step. I'm gonna get their little butts to master the periodic table of elements, hopefully better than anybody, so they have it memorized inside and out, backwards and forwards, upside down, and understand what every single concept means. Before we get to trying to improve science, let's get them to the most basic level of literacy. And that way we can sell our shit and make billions and make billions for other people, and go surfing in Bali as a family and hit up all the water parks in the world, and hit up every single Unitarian church in India, the biggest churches in the world, to pitch our books to the people there, usually 20,000 people at a time, because it's inherently not specific to any one religion or particularly science itself. It's more like philosophy of science, or the grand field of science. Anyways, later.